what if our understanding of time, reality, what if it's, way bigger than we think? What if the past isn't actually gone? Like it just exists somewhere else on a different plane? Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to getting informed, designed for you. We grab a bunch of sources, pull out the key insights, and, well, add a few surprising bits to keep things interesting. Today, we're diving into something really fascinating. It's the world and unique views of a Polish clairvoyant, Krzysztof Jackowski. Our source material. It's straight from a YouTube video transcript titled Jestem medium to najwyższa forma jasnowidzenia widzenia. That translates to, I am a medium, the highest form of clairvoyance live vision.
Right. And our mission for this deep dive is basically to unpack Jackowski's big claim. He says mediumism is the highest form of clairvoyance, and we'll explore his really unique, often pretty abstract ideas about reality, time, consciousness, all based on what he calls his personal visions.
Okay, let's get into it. So first off, this central claim, he's not just saying he's a clairvoyant, he specifically identifies as a medium. And he believes this is the absolute highest degree, the ultimate possibility of clairvoyance.
Yeah, and he points to his 40 years of practice, his achievements in that time. He says that's why he can claim this with a pure heart and conscience.
It's quite a statement.
It is. And interestingly, he mentions that, in his day-to-day work, he didn't really use the term medium much. People knew him more as, like, clairvoyant of Człuchowa or clairvoyant Krzysztof Jackowski, sometimes just Mr. Jacek.
Right. So deciding to use medium now feels deliberate.
Definitely. He seems to be making a specific point here.
He also mentions being a bit frustrated, actually. Says his channel spends too much time on politics sometimes. He feels like that's treating this mediumism poorly. Admits he's always had trouble with the word mediumism itself. But then he says, this is interesting, and for this specific session, he wants to try a daring experiment, really use his mediumism.
And he backs this up with his history, right? He talks about all the sensational articles over the years. He lists headlines, Super Express, clairvoyant found hanged mother, something from a Russian paper about finding a victim.
Ah, right. Clairvoyant found our father. Clairvoyant found Katarzyna's body. Clairvoyant found the nun's body.
Exactly. He says he could probably spend an hour just listing headlines or police documents. It shows the context for why he feels confident making this claim about being a medium.
Okay, so he's got this long history, these claimed successes. What about this daring experiment, then? How does he actually do this?
Well, he talks about photos. He says in the past he could get very many things from a photo.
Like the case he mentioned, Sister Uberman, he said he located her body in Olsztyn just from a photo.
That's the one he cites, yeah. Artillery Druska Street, based on the photo. So for this deep dive, this experiment, he got several photos ready, calls them extreme visions, to try and reach that state of mediumism.
Okay, what photos?
There's his own first-grade school picture. He says it's the only one like it, from his youth, black and white, classroom setting, sheet for a background. Original's in bad shape, he notes.
Okay. Starting personal.
Yeah. Then there's the photo of Sister Uberman, the nun we just mentioned. And then, interestingly, photos with political figures. One with Andrzej Lepper, taken at some charity ball maybe a month or so before this Smolensk disaster.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he notes he had hair then, shaves his head now for convenience. And another photo from the same event with Mr. and Mrs. Kaczynski.
And he has stories about those meetings too, right?
Oh, yeah, very specific ones. Like Mrs. Kaczynski apparently recognized him because he'd said in the press her husband wouldn't get a second term as president. He even told Andrzej Lepper directly that he saw Kaczynski sleeping in bed in the siege. It's quite detailed.
That's, very specific. It shows he's used this photo method in different contexts, public figures included. But you mentioned something earlier, applying this to his own family. That must have been incredibly stressful.
Right, the story about his son, Adrian, is really powerful. His son was just a little boy, wanted a fishing rod.
Okay.
Got the rod, went out to show his friends, and then just vanished. Didn't come back.
Oh, no. Every parent's nightmare.
Absolutely. Jackowski says he just panicked. Didn't have a car then, so he's riding his bike like crazy around the lakes near Człuchowa. Terrified his son had slipped, maybe fallen in the water somewhere.
You can just imagine the fear.
He eventually went home, just sat on the stairs in his building, totally distraught. And then he had this thought, like, wait a minute. You do visions for other people. Focus now. Focus on this.
Using his ability on himself in a crisis.
Exactly. And he says he got this strong feeling and intuition about a specific place, a really dangerous spot, a bridge near Rychnowski Lake. He knew it had missing planks, a deep, muddy canal underneath.
But he hesitated.
Yeah, his first thought was, no, Adrian wouldn't go there. It's too dangerous. He kind of dismissed it initially.
But the feeling persisted.
It seemed so. Despite the doubt, he got back on his bike, rode out there, and as he got closer, he saw Adrian walking back with two friends carrying the fishing rod and two tiny fish.
Wow. And had they been there?
His son confirmed it. They'd been right there at that dangerous bridge.
That must have been, well, terrifying, but also incredibly validating for him, right? Proof he could use this for himself.
Absolutely. He explicitly says that experience confirmed for him that a clairvoyant can do visions for themselves. It wasn't just for others.
Okay, that's a really compelling personal story. But then how does this connect to the bigger picture? You said he used his own childhood photo for this experiment. How did looking at that old school picture lead to these huge philosophical ideas about reality? He said he approached it without any prejudice.
That seems to be the key transition. Focusing on that photo with an open mind apparently opened a door to something much deeper than just memory. He started describing himself.
Yeah.
Coming from the world of spirit.
From the spirit world.
Yeah, and incarnating here, taking on the meanders of human characteristics.
Meanders. What does he mean by that? Like complexities?
Exactly. He defines it not just like river bends, but also complexities, intricate processes, or tangled thoughts. So navigating the messiness of being human.
Okay, so he's seeing his own life, starting from that photo, as a spirit entering the human tangle.
Sort of. And he says, I am here with a guardian who is old. Adds a spiritual companion to the mix.
An old guardian.
Okay.
And he believes the world he came from exists on one plane. He calls them planes of inverse fields, almost like reflections.
Inverse fields, like mirror dimensions. That's pretty abstract.
Very abstract. And this leads to his redefinition of reincarnation. He says it's not really reincarnation, it's permeation.
Permeation, like soaking through something.
Kind of.
Yeah.
He sees life as a process of permeating. His idea is you need an openness of mind for possibilities to emerge, because he thinks the body limits spiritual possibilities. But if the body could freely open up, then spirit could permeate and act through the body.
So the body isn't a cage, it's potentially a conduit if you're open enough? That seems to be the idea. He describes himself as a boy of an old guide who came here before a great oppression.
A great oppression? What does he mean by that?
He says this oppression will last for decades, and that for him, the era of good for humanity is ending. It's quite a bleak outlook.
Wow. And his goal in this context?
His stated goal is to awaken intuition in people.
Okay. So he's trying to help people tap into something beyond the physical.
Seems like it. He pushes this further, saying, there is no universe, there are planes.
No universe, just planes.
Yeah. Inch plane might have its own universe, but that's of little significance. The planes are the main thing. And we come from one plane to another plane. We don't incarnate, we permeate.
So it's like blinking out of existence on one plane and instantly appearing on another.
That's how he explains it. You come here, disappear there, leaving here, you appear there, disappear here. Transformation, transforming. It's constant movement between these layers.
And did he say something about reality being oval?
He did. He throws that in, reality is oval, but admits he doesn't fully get it himself. It's like he's grasping at concepts beyond our normal framework.
A mind bender, for sure. Oval reality. It suggests something cyclical, maybe? Not linear?
Possibly. It fits with his other idea that time was not linear, but planar.
Planar time, like layers of time existing simultaneously.
Exactly. He explicitly states, the past that has passed exists somewhere. He believes you could theoretically go to different places and find that reality that, according to our linear thinking, no longer exists, but it is.
So history isn't gone, it's just elsewhere, still happening on its own plane.
That's the implication. He also says, we are slaves to the reality we create, suggesting we're kind of stuck in our perception. But fundamentally, everything that lived lives. You can go back, return, or go forth.
It's a very fluid concept of existence.
Very. And he has a slightly ominous note, believing there are forces on Earth that at all costs want to take away the human ability to think about life in any other way than this life.
Forces trying to keep us locked into the material world.
Seems to be what he's suggesting. And he contrasts this with wanderers who are light. He identifies himself as a wanderer.
A wanderer? Someone who can move between these planes, maybe? Or someone bringing this awareness?
Feels like both. Someone not bound by the linear, bringing a kind of illumination.
What's really striking is how he reflects on receiving this vision. He says it felt wiser than me or saw more than me.
Yeah, like he was channeling something beyond his own conscious understanding.
And he connects this back to his childhood again, doesn't he? Describing himself as a terrible weirdo.
Mm-hmm. Fascinated by astronomy, taking deep breaths, looking at the sun or moon, like he was trying to inhale their essence.
And the thing about corners, caressing corners of objects, feeling energy. And the knives.
Right, needing edges like knives and scissors pointed away from him. These really specific, almost ritualistic behaviors. Very unusual sensitivities.
It makes you wonder where these perceptions come from.
And he adds that little detail about his daughter, Monica. How as a young girl, she did similar things. He saw her arranging knives in the right direction in the kitchen, tidying cutlery in a particular way.
Like his own childhood quirks. Suggests maybe there's something innate there, passed down.
It certainly raises that question, doesn't it?
He wraps up this part of the vision with quite a powerful message, something about dreams and faith.
Yes. He says, don't be afraid of dreams and faith. Don't call anything fantasy. Faith in dreams realize fantasy.
So don't dismiss imagination.
Pretty much. He suggests what pops into your head as fantasy might actually be inspiration. And he warns we're too quick to call fantasy childish, saying fantasy can be wounded.
Wounded fantasy. That's a really evocative phrase. Like discouraging imagination can actually harm something important within us.
It is profound. And he builds on this, explaining again, there are planes of worlds next to each other. Each one is different but similar. He now understands, he says, there are maybe 7, maybe 9 planes, all sort of stuck together, adhering to each other.
Like layers in an onion almost?
Maybe, or like radio frequencies, as you suggested. They coexist, but the beings on each plane are generally not aware of each other.
Right. And he comes back to that core idea again.
He does. He reiterates, there is only permeation. And crucially, each person who permeates at a given moment thinks everything ends, but it begins.
So death isn't an end, it's just a transition, a permeation into another plane where things start anew.
That seems to be the essence of his worldview, derived from that vision.
Wow. Okay. That was quite a journey through Jackowski's mind. It goes so much further than just, predicting things.
No.
This whole deep dive paints a picture of a really complex, expansive view of the universe. Or, well, the planes, as he calls them. Time, reality, consciousness, all operating in ways we don't normally think about.
Definitely. It fundamentally challenges that street-line view of existence most of us have.
Yeah.
Suggests this deep interconnectedness, this constant flow, permeation.
So wrapping up, the big takeaway really feels like this challenge to our perception.
I think so. I mean, if reality is somehow oval or planar, if time isn't linear and we just permeate, what does that even mean for things like fate, free will? How does it change how you view your own past or your future?
Right. And even if you think, okay, this sounds like fantasy, his point about not wounding fantasy is interesting too.
Yeah, maybe just considering these ideas, even as thought experiments, could shift how you see things day to day, perhaps inspire different ways of thinking about, well, everything.
Definitely something to chew on, a different lens to look through, for sure.